Alrighty, folks. In today's psychological lecture, we're going to be talking about why the 99% of day traders fail. And the reason why I want to talk about this topic is number one, because of the fact that if you want to get good at anything in this world, you have to understand and identify what everyone else does and avoid yourself from the masses in terms of their day-to-day habits, in terms of how they think, right? If everyone sucks at everything that they do, right? There's a reason why statistics exist. If everyone sucks at everything that they do, you want to avoid what everyone else does, and that naturally will allow you to get ahead of everyone else. So before we get into it, I want to preference 99% of day traders fail, and you can qualify anyone in that statistic. The statistic is bullshit. It shouldn't be a demotivating factor of you saying, oh, well, 99% of people fail, so I'm not going to be able to make it. You can qualify someone day trading for one day, and then the following day they quit, and then they fall into that statistic, right? So I will say statistics are bullshit for day trading, number one. Number two, you need to ask yourself, how do you avoid yourself from the masses in order to progress? And the biggest topic that I always talk about, you guys hear me repeating it constantly on these psychological lectures, is if nothing changes, what changes? 0 plus 0 will always equal 0. And how I correlate that into day trading, that saying into day trading, is because of the fact, if you try your best to create a solution to a problem, but you don't even know what your problem is in the first place, how do you expect to create the solution? Right? It doesn't make any sense. I'll repeat myself for those of you who didn't understand what I just said. If you have a problem, right, and you don't even know what it is, and you're trying to create a solution for it, how does that make sense? You don't even know what the problem is. It's kind of like depression, right? Someone will say, oh, you're a depressed person. And it's like, people will, instead of trying to figure out why are you a depressed person, they'll immediately resort to taking pills. That doesn't help your depression. It's not going to help your depression. It's like, no, let's get down to the root cause of what's holding me back right now. Let's get down to the root cause of why I'm depressed. And from there, you create a solution to it that then allows you to fix the problem. And I think the masses, the 99% of day traders that fail, are just incapable of doing this or just lazy, right? I had someone in my Discord earlier, and I literally screamed at them. I make weekly outlooks. Every week, I make an outlook of what I'm anticipating for this week and upcoming week in terms of price action, in terms of news events, what I'm anticipating for certain days, high probable, low probable, based off those news drivers. I make those weekly in my Discord. And someone in general chat said, does someone mind summarizing to me what the weekly outlook is? And what did he say? Which days to trade, which not days to trade? And I sat there and said, you're an unprofitable day trader. Your problem is unprofitability, and you're lazy as fuck to the point where you don't want to go watch a 6-minute video telling you exactly the conditions of the marketplace. Monday through Friday, this day is going to be low probable because of this news driver. This day is going to be good. This day is going to be bad. This day is going to be good. You're so lazy and unprofitable to the point where you want someone to spoon feed you and summarize a 4-minute or 6-minute video to you. You deserve to fail. And that's the reality of this shit. The vast majority of people are incapable of becoming a profitable day trader due to that exact reason that I just outlined. People are lazy as fuck. They don't want to put any work, and it could be the most simplistic, easy work, right? And honestly, if I had to summarize it, if like someone came up to me and asked me, Salman, why do you think majority of people are unprofitable day traders and never will become profitable? It's that exact reason there, right? I just mentioned. That's it. Nothing else, nothing more. Now, diving deeper into that vast problem, there's obviously individual problems within that big problem. So we've identified majority of people are lazy. They're not willing to put in work. Well, if you dive deep into that problem, right? Majority of people are also incapable of, or not incapable, but are just not wanting to purchase a mentorship, for example. You know, oh, well, there's people out there with much more trading experience than me. Yeah, I don't want to learn. I just don't want to learn. Okay, then you will fail. And it's going to be much harder. And if you end up succeeding, it's going to take you much longer than if you just listen to some guy that actually knows what he's talking about. Another problem I see constantly is just the aspect of confidence. You know, like it's like a lot of you guys, and I understand it's difficult to be a confident person, but you need the ability and the aspect of having the ability to be confident. You need it. You cannot day trade and not have confidence in yourself. And the reason for that being is because you're entering an industry where you have to risk thousands of dollars daily. That is very, very diminishing on your psychology. You get irritated very fast. You can fuck up. You can think very badly in a negative way about yourself very easily. And for you to sit there and say, I don't have the confidence, or I'm not a confident person, well, you're going to fail, right? You can't sit there and say to yourself, I'm not a confident person. I'm not going to make it in day trading. How does that work? You're trying to beat a statistic where 99% of people fail. And if 99% of people are also not confident in themselves to be able to become a profitable day trader, how do you expect to become a profitable day trader? If everyone else is not confident and the statistic is 99% of day traders fail, why are you expecting to become a profitable day trader if you're not confident in yourself? It's a logic fail, you know? And honestly, the best life advice I can give you guys is just separate, like recognize and really recognize how everyone else thinks. What are the ways that they think? How do they think? How do they trade? What emotions do they have? Because the masses fail for a reason, right? The majority fail for a reason. It's because they suck. So if they suck and you understand this, you need to recognize and almost to some extent study study their pattern recognition of what they think, how they do it, and separate yourself so far from how the masses think, how they eat, how they work out, what do they do, how do they think, do they have confidence in themselves? Because you need to be a unique person to become a profitable day trader. It's the reality of it. You need to think in a very unique manner. I mean, just think about it in a logistical way. How do you expect to risk thousands of dollars daily and not be a unique person? You know how much stress that is to risk $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $100,000 in a day? Like you understand how much of a unique stress tolerance you need to have in comparison to the vast majority of people, right? Like I've just gotten to a point where I've risked so many big numbers in my life where, let's say hypothetically speaking, 5 grand, 10 grand were to just get diminished or removed out of my bank account. I would sit there and say, yeah, it sucks, but what am I going to do about it? To the common person, they'll be like, oh my fuck, $5,000, $10,000 out of my bank account. I can't believe this happened. Why did it happen? Freaking the fuck out. But I've just gotten to a point in my life where I've just risked so much money on random things, right? Individual day trades, meme coins, cryptos, where it's like, okay, it's not the end of the world. And how this relates to the vast majority of people is because of the fact you look at people and individuals, for example, people driving on the road. Someone gets cut off. The person that got cut off loses their shit. Oh, I'm going to show this guy. I'm going to drive really fast. I'm going to rear end him, or I'm going to brake check him. I'm going to get so angry. And majority of people will never become successful. If that's your thought process and you allow minor inconveniences to get you so irritated to the point of doing something that could possibly harm another person, then you're never going to make it. Right? You never will make it, no matter what business you attempt at, no matter if it's day trading, no matter if it's an actual e-commerce business or any marketing agency, no matter what your business is, if you allow minor things to get in the way of your success that have no correlation on you, that you're never going to make it. You can't be an angry person and win. You got to learn to forgive. Never, and this is a life philosophy I tell a lot of people, learn to never forget, but you should be forgiving. Right? Forgive, but never forget. Like, be like, okay, I know this person has done harm on me or said this thing to me or done this thing to me, but I'm going to forgive that person. I got shit to do. I have money to make. I have things I need to do. My life is important that I'm not going to sit there and allow a minor inconvenience like someone cutting me off on the road to dramatically affect my day-to-day in terms of my moods, how I feel, my emotions. And if you're a very sporadic person, it's very hard for you to become a day trader. If you get very angry over shit, if you get very emotional over shit. I mean, if you're down $1,000 on the day and you're a very emotional person externally and outside of your life, how the hell do you expect to become a profitable day trader? It's a common phenomenon I keep telling you guys, external versus internal. When you start to prioritize external habits and external thought processes, it becomes much easier to win. Because you identified what specifically are my problems, I fix my problems, and I don't act on emotion. I think in a very logistical way, right? Is this happening to me? Yes. Okay. How do I fix it? This is how I'm going to go about fixing it. And that's it. And to be honest with you, like that's the reason why 99% of day traders fail. Because no one thinks logistically anymore. Not a single person. They don't think, okay, for example, let's take a example in day trading. I'm up $800 right now, but I want to be up $900. So I'm going to risk the entire $800 that I'm up right now to just only make a mere $100 more. How is that logistical thinking at all whatsoever? That's not logistical. Doesn't make sense. If I put the $800 on your table right now, you're taking that $800. You're not going to sit there like a dickhead and say, oh, yeah, I need that extra $100. But that's what you guys do in day trading. That's literally the pinnacle of what you guys do. Or, oh, I'm down $1,000 right now, so I need to full port my account and I need to risk every other dollar in my account right now to ensure I make back that loss. When you say it like that, and I tell you guys that out loud, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any logical sense. And if you all can get to the point of logistically thinking, does this make what I'm about to do right now, does this make sense in the grand scheme of things? Does risking my entire $800 that I'm currently up right now for an extra $100 make any logistical sense? Well, on a risk-reward standpoint, no, that doesn't really make any sense. Why would I risk the $800 just to satisfy my ego to be up an extra $100? Or, oh my God, I missed this trade opportunity, so I need to take a trade now. Even though there's nothing there, there's no setup there, there's nothing logistically to take there. Doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any logistical sense. So the farther away you get from logistics and thinking logistically in day trading, the more emotion comes along, and you guys have all heard the saying, the more emotion you have in the marketplace, right, the worse you're going to day trade. You have to think logistically on a logistical basis. You cannot think in a very irrational basis. If your thought process in day trading especially is always irrationality and irrational thinking, it's very difficult to sit there and try to fix problems because you're in irrational thinking. You're very sporadic. Oh my God, I missed this trade opportunity, so I need to take another trade. Oh my God, I'm $100 away from my TP, so I'm going to risk another $100. What? Just take the original 800. It doesn't. The things you guys all do that are currently keeping you unprofitable is because you think in a very irrational and non-logistical manner. So if you all get to the standpoint of just asking yourself, what is the obvious move? And if you're always making the obvious move in day trading as a whole, it becomes so much easier to become a profitable day trader. For example, you map out a high on your chart. Okay, well, there's this high on my chart right now, and we're very close to it. Let's say we're 30 to 40 to 50 points away from this high. I'm going to target that high because it makes sense to target that high. Not, oh, okay, I want 10 points above that high because I just feel like I want 10 more points above that high. No. What's a logistical thought process? What makes sense? Okay, well, we're 40 points away from that high. I want to just simply target that high because that's how a logistical person would think. Not out of emotion, well, I need $10 more to pass my funded account, so I need to target 10 more points. Or I need $200 more to pass my funded account, so I'm going to irrationally make a decision of targeting 20 more points. Well, that's why you fuck up. That's why it's a constant failure. A lot of you guys are in the position right now where it's like, you know, if you just fix these like 1 or 2 or 3 things, you would become a profitable day trader. Yet you don't have the discipline to act on fixing those problems. And the reason for that being is because you're always thinking irrationally. You're always thinking irrationally. Oh, I'm up $800 on my position right now, so I want $100 more, and I'm going to risk the entire $800 that I'm up right now just to make that extra $100. When we've already taken like a good draw on liquidity. That doesn't make any sense. How can that ever make any sense? And a lot of day traders have just lost the ability to just think in a very normal and logistic manner. What makes sense here? On the chart right now that is in front of me, what makes sense to do? Okay. Well, this makes sense to do because it's obvious. The obvious and logistical decision will always be the one that you should be making in day trading. And the farther ahead and the farther away you get from logistics, right, is the closer you get from to an irrationality. And when you're an irrational day trader, you're an unprofitable day trader. And honestly, like that's the biggest piece of advice I can give any of you guys is just sit there and always ask yourself, what's the obvious decision to make right here? Did we sweep liquidity? No. Why am I taking the trade then? Did we rebalance into a fair value gap? No. So why am I taking the trade? Is my strategy appearing in my face right now? No. Why are you entering the trade? You need to start acting in this manner of just logistics. Does this make sense of what I'm about to embark on? The answer is no. I'm not going to do it. Wow. Can't believe it. Anyways, folks, that's going to be why 99% of day traders fail. If this video provided value to you, let me know. I got to go. I got a bunch of shit I got to do for today. I love you guys. Drop a comment below on what you thought about this video, if I helped you in any way. And peace. Later, y'all.